Hi, Sue. Hopefully, we'll have a few others join us here. I don't know if everybody realizes we're here today. I did tell them we'd be here on Saturday, but I don't know that everybody's going to remember that or look for us. So we'll see what happens. If they don't see us live, they'll just miss the opportunity of chatting with us, and they can do our projects later. I have some fun things for you. We're ready to start working on our combing techniques today. So that's going to be fun. Hope you guys have your combs at the ready. I have my blue one. I told you I'd probably start with this one. I think it'll be a little easier to see what I'm doing on the larger of the two combs. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one today. And we can go ahead and get going anytime. You guys have any questions before we start? And can you hear me okay? Got my hair all pulled back in a ponytail because it is hot. Hot, hot. Thank you, Thelma. I like it too. Uh, it feels, I don't know that having the little holes cut in it change anything at all, but it feels, like it should be cooler because it has that. I don't know that it's any cooler at all, but whatever you can do to trick your mind into thinking you're comfortable is good, I guess. All right, you guys are hearing me okay? Yes? Got my Diet Coke here. It's about to about to doze off in the house. I went to bed late, and then my daughter and my husband called me this morning and said, plus it's SCCY.
Sexy.
Oh, plus it's sexy. Okay. Um, my daughter and my husband called me this morning when my husband locked himself out of his car at the mall, and I had to go get up and go rescue them. So I didn't get to sleep as late as I thought I needed to. Okay, let's get our combs out. Let's look at a couple basic things here. Comb styles are going to vary from one to the next. As you know, we have a couple different ones in the store. Candidly, I haven't opened this one yet because I've just been playing with the blue one, but I probably eventually will have to have this one too. Only major difference between the two, of course, one's purple, which makes it good inherently, but it is, if you look, it also has narrower tie. It doesn't matter which one you choose. These, you're going to get almost identical results out of these two. Of course, it's going to be slightly bigger with this, but you're going to get very similar results with this one. Okay, we're going to start with some very, very basic reps. What I recommend you have out today, let me tell you about that. I recommend that you have um, your board out, and I believe all the boards on the back are just cork board. So I took a piece of parchment and pinned down over mine. The parchment will keep the glue from sticking to the cork, and we don't want that. We want to be able to lift it off easily. So I just pinned some parchment paper to it. Of course, I've got my comb. I also recommend that you have your pointy tool. It looks like a pokey tool. It's the one that comes in your quilling kit that's sharp. Hi, Betty. Good to see you, friend. So I recommend having your pokey tool handy. And of course, you're gonna want your glue bottle. I'm gonna spritz a little bit of water in on my baby wipes, so when I use this, it will keep I got a little baby wipe shoved in there, and by keeping that baby wipe moist, I don't have to worry about continually capping and uncapping my bottle. I can just drop it in there on the baby wipe, and my glue stays towards the tip of my glue bottle, and it keeps it from clogging up in the end. So, all right, let's get started. We're going to start by trying a very basic wrap. The first one we're going to do is, the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to just wrap a little bit of this quilling strip around the edge of our tool. I have to tell you, I think this is the most difficult part of this for me because I'm kind of a fumble fingers. But you're going to wrap it around just a little bit. Wax paper is great as well as parchment. You are correct, Thelma. Absolutely true. Wax paper is perfect also. So I want to get a little bitty hole in my strip. Can you see it there? Now, sometimes if I'm having trouble wrapping those, I actually put a little dab of glue there to hold it so I don't have to wrap it around and around and around. It's up to you. You don't really have to glue this. But what we're going to do is create that little tiny hole, and I'm going to put this in on the number 1 tine on my comb. Number 1. I knew I was going to have trouble with this today just because if there's one aspect of this that gives me any difficulty at all, it's just wrapping these starting anchors. There we go. Now it should hold because I got a better one in there. There we go. And I am still going to put a little bit of glue on it. You don't have to glue it. If you can get it wrapped around several times, that's good. You just want that little, you want a little hole in the center, and then we're going to put that on number 1, okay? With your strip hanging down. Now, the first thing I want you to do is go from number 1, go over the top, and go to number 2. Okay? You with me? Now I'm going to go from the bottom again. I'm going to go to number 3. And I'm just going to keep climbing up my comb 1 tine at a time. Now I'm at number 4 until you reach whatever length you want to use. Number 5.
Comb, we can't see.
Number 6. Number 7, you can probably see it easier from the back. Maybe I should turn it so the numbers show. I'm up to number 7. When I get it as long as I want it to be, I'm going to tear my strip. I'm going to add a little glue. It doesn't matter at this point if all of your wraps are absolutely straight, because you can straighten those out after you pull it off. What is important is to make sure that where you glue it, where you glue your strip down, that it is right on top of the preceding strip so that when we finish with it, it will, and we pull it off, everything, we can straighten everything up. You don't want that one all cattywampus. And I want to show you what we get when we pull it off. You get this. Now that would be, if I did this in green, that would be a perfect leaf. You could also use these as flower petals and other things. I did all of my original pieces in green, but I thought, I'm going to do them in some other colors just to show that we could use these wraps for lots of different things. I could still pinch it if I wanted to. I could curl it. I could do lots of things with this. So this is what we're making when we just anchor to number 1 and then continually climb up the comb until we get it to the desired length. Okay? So that's pretty easy, right? Okay, let's do another very basic wrap. I'm going to get another strip here. Of course, that means I have to get an anchor in it again. This is not a difficult process, guys. It's just me being ridiculous. Oh, see, I got it that time. I got it to wrap right around. Hi, Diane. Now I got a nice solid one there. See, I just want to wrap that around the end of my pokey tool, and I want to get a nice wrap on it. You don't have to glue it. You can glue it if you want to. I'm going to put this on number 8. And this time, we're going to do this a little bit differently. I'm starting on number 8. I'm going to come up here and increase that by 1 to number 9. Then I'm going to decrease it. I'm going to go 1 below number 8 to number 7. Okay, so I started on 8. I went up to 9. I came back up through over number 7. Now I'm going to go 1 more up, which will take me to number 10. 1 more down, which will take me to number 6. You get what I'm doing? I'm just adding 1 on either direction. I'm giving you the numbers just for reference. So up 1 more takes me to number 11. Down 1 more takes me to number 5. Let's do 1 more wrap. We'll go up to 12. We'll come down here. And you see how I'm kind of coming in from the edge? That is the easiest way to do this, is coming in from the side. And when I get it to the length that I want, I'm going to tear my strip. I'm going to get my glue bottle. I'm going to glue that strip down. I want my glue, of course, to go clear to the end of my strip. I'm going to make sure that that's lined up good, that my strip I'm gluing down is lined up straight. And this is a different kind of wrap. And this is what we get when we do that wrap. See how it's different? The little petals are all coming up from the bottom in the last one, and in this one, they gradually work their way out from the middle. See that? Might be good if I was putting this against a piece of dark paper so you could see. There we go. There we go. That's better, isn't it? So here's this one. This was our second wrap. Here's our first wrap. And you can see the difference between the two. One kind of has, kind of starts in the middle, and one starts on the end. And they create a very different impression when you're done with them. And either one of those could be used as petals on a flower or other shapes. Okay? All right. So that's 2 of our basic wraps. Let's try a third one. This third one I really like. I think it's really fun. Let's get another piece of paper. And yes, you guessed it. We have to anchor it. So we're going to, maybe if I dampen it a little bit, I can hang on to it better. Don't know. We'll see. Oh yeah, that worked. Maybe that's the trick.
Diane and Thelma recommended the wings also for that shape.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Great idea for wings. Sure. Okay, I got my anchor. Okay, I'm actually going to put a little glue on it because I managed to pull it loose last time. I'm going to put a little glue on it. Okay, I've got my anchor, got my little circle at the end here. I'm going to put this on number 1 again. And we're going to do this one a little bit differently. This time, wait, let's see. Nope, we're not. We're going to number 8. Forgot myself there for a minute, but I found myself. Okay, I want you, this time we're going to wrap over the top of our tine. So it's going to be, let's see. Oh, here we go. I got to do it right. Okay, I want you to put it on number 8 and come under tine number 9. See that? Go underneath number 9. This one, this bow we're going to do reminds me of a Christmas bow. You guys ever try doing a Christmas bow where you just take lengths of ribbon and of graduated larger lengths and wrap them, glue it, and then create little circles out of them, and then stack those circles of larger sizes one on top of the other? Have you ever done that? That's what this process reminds me of. Put your anchor on number 8, go around tine number 9, come over here and get, this is kind of like our bow maker, isn't it? I want you to come over here and go underneath number 7, come up and go underneath number 10. You with me? See what's happening? If we look at this from the bottom, we're creating those graduated circles. See that? Okay, let's come down and get underneath number 6. I'm not worrying too much about the fact that it's not stacked up straight yet. I can stack it up straight as I pull it off the comb. I'm going to come down and go underneath number 5. I did number 11 on the top. Now I'm doing number 5. I'm going to come up here to number 12. I'm going to come down here to number 4. Each time I'm picking up one tine. So the bottom of my comb looks like this. Okay, come up here, get number 13. Let's come down here and get number 3. I'm running out of paper, so it's time to finish this one off. And I'm going to tear this off a bit. I'm going to bring my glue up. Is anybody working along? I hope some of you are, because then you could ask me questions. Okay, looks like I overglued it a little bit. Oops. I'll wipe it off. Okay, so I've got my strip glued down on top. The bottom of my comb looks just like this. Now I can kind of straighten it with my fingers. Now this one's important. There's absolutely nothing holding these together. We didn't glue it or anything, so there's nothing holding these pieces together once I pull it off the comb. So I want you to get a hold of it at number 8, which is the center. And then when you pull it off, hang on to it at number 8. Because see, there's nothing holding that all together. It would just spring right up if I let it. But when I hold it like this, you can see what I get. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to put glue on the ends here. And I'm going to wrap this so that all of those pretty folds we just did are on the inside. I'm going to pinch it at the very end. And this is what we get. Oops. Gotta hold it for a second. This is what we get. Now done in green, this is a fabulous leaf, but wouldn't this be a really pretty petal? Look at this one. I think this one's really satisfying to do for some reason. I'm going to hold this up to the camera so you can see the detail in that. Isn't that kind of fun? Done with your comb. You just have the nice little filigree sort of pattern around the inside. Now, of course, the shorter you make it, the more compacted the design will be. You can make little petals, you can make big petals. I could have joined two of these together and made great big petals. If you ever wondered if you can make a big flower, you absolutely can. Because by using this technique, I can make these as long as I want them to be, right? Up to the size of my comb. So there's a beautiful petal from my flower. That's technique number 3. Let's look at technique number 4. I'm going to get a green one for this. Let me get a green strip out here. All these strips, you'd think I'd find a green one, wouldn't you? There we go. There's my green. And grab one of these bright greens. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is make something that looks like this. Oops. We're going to make something that looks like this. Okay, so we're going to make either a leaf or the beginning of a wing, or we can use this for a variety of things. Of course, we're going to start all these techniques. Start by creating an anchor. So let's wrap around the tip of our needle tool. I'm doing better with that. I want you guys to notice I'm doing better. I was nervous about getting these started because I struggled with that all day yesterday while I was playing with these techniques. I struggled. I'm going to put a little glue on mine just because. Okay. Now, oops, did I even need to do that? I didn't even need to do that. I lied to you. Not every technique starts with that. Now I'm going to tear that green off that I worked so hard to get there because I forgot. I forgot something. We're going to start by putting our paper in at number 6. And I'm just going to wrap a little bit extra around the bottom. See there? Sorry about that. I kind of got cattywampus. I'm going to wrap a little bit extra around. I'm going to put a little dab of glue on here. And then I'm going to bring my quilling paper down over that. And make sure it's lined up straight. Okay. And this is what I have. Now I want you to bring this strip back up and come through number 5 on the right-hand side and down over the top of what we just did. See there? So we're going to bring this down. I'm going to put a little dab of glue right at the bottom because I'm holding these at kind of an angle. Well, I'm glad you joined us while you're on your break between. Now I'm going to bring my paper up through number 5. Up through between number 5 and 6. And I'm going to put a little dab of glue right here at the bottom. Now these are going to be at slightly different angles. So your paper might not line up exactly at the bottom. That's okay. But I try and make it kind of line up. Now I'm going to go up between number 4 and number 5 on the right-hand side. And I'm going to bring that down again. Now this kind of reminds me in a way, I think this would be a really neat design to use for Art Deco background on your card. Doesn't it kind of remind you a little bit of an Art Deco shape? The way I'm doing it is going to kind of look like a leaf, but imagine making this bigger. You know, come clear up here and start this design and make this fan kind of shape that we're making. I'm going to the left now and doing the same thing. Wouldn't it be beautiful to make that as an Art Deco background on one of your cards? I'm going to put a little dab of glue here. Okay. I'm going to tear off my paper, put a little dab of glue on the back because I'm done with this shape now. So I think this would be really cool for Art Deco. It also makes a really cool leaf. Isn't it a neat leaf? I like that. So I can use this as leaves on my card. Have those coming out from under my flowers. Hi, Annette. I could absolutely use those for leaves. Here's another idea. What if you connect these side by side? Picture making this in white. Make 6 of them and you can make a snowflake. Put a beautiful pearl in the middle. A star with 5 of them, or a snowflake with 6. Neat ideas? Huh? I think they're neat ideas. And then we could try. Why don't we just try for the heck of it? I'm really kind of into finding out if that Art Deco sort of design would work well. So let's see. I had some connected strips here. That would be them. Let's try that and just see what happens. I want to see. I don't know what's going to happen. But let's try it because I think it sounds fun. I'm going to start clear up here. I don't know how wide my comb. The other one has wider tine. I'm going to start clear up here at number. I started at number 6. I should be able to get 6 on there. I'm going to start here. I'm going to overlap just a bit. Just a little bit here. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue, just a dab of glue here at the bottom to hold these first 2 pieces together. Then I'm going to bring it up and go to the right. I'm going to come down. I'm going to glue this one at the bottom. I'm going to come up. I'm actually doing this backward, I think, but I'm going to get exactly the same result, so I don't care. I'm going to come up as soon as I get my piece straightened out. I'm going to come down between 11 and 12. I have to feed all this through. That's the only downside to my little strategy here, but you don't know if things will work unless you try them. Oh yeah, that's true. It would be a nice background for something, wouldn't it, Thelma? Those together, it sure would. Okay, let's come up. Oh, this is going to work out really well because the strip is going to end right at the right place. Okay, I'm going to come up and go down on the other side. This time I'm going down through between 10 and 11. I must trust you guys a lot because I try things all the time on live stream I've never tried before. Okay, that's because you guys aren't judgmental. Okay, I'm going to bring it through this time between 9 and 10. I'm going to glue it. I do have a really interesting strip here because I have 3 different colors glued together, but that's okay. I'm going to come down on the left-hand side. Hi, Sharma. Welcome, friend. This time I'm coming down on tie number 9. I'm going to wrap around. Put just a dab of glue at the bottom this time. I'm wrapping around on tie number 8. I have a little bit of glue still exposed there, so I'm going to use that. And I'm going to come down at number 8 on the other side. What we're doing now is finding out whether we could use this wrapping technique to make a larger piece for Art Deco or even larger flower petals. This is going to be like a 2.5-inch petal if I use this as a flower petal. I could make a huge flower if I was inclined to. I'm going to do one more wrap. This one's at number 6. I'm going to come around, put just a dab of glue here, catch that paper, and come down around. How did I get off? I got off somehow. But that's okay. We're still going with it. Because I'm on number 7 on that side, number 6 on the other. I suppose I could go through number 6 now. Let's just see. So we have them at the same length. I don't even have to really tear my paper off. I just need to, I do need to tear it just a little bit. I'm going to tear it on the back. I'm going to put a little dab of glue at the back. And here we go. I didn't put out a newsletter this week because I told you in our last broadcast last Saturday that we would be here this week. But I wasn't here on Wednesday and Thursday, so I completely understand the confusion. Here's what we got. Now, if you did this all in the same color, imagine doing that in like a metallic gold. Wouldn't that be fun? And use that as a piece of decor in your Art Deco card? I think that'd be really fun. It really looks Art Deco-ish. We just made it with, a strip that was 3 different colors that were attached together, but we have a neat shape, don't you think? So let's look at those again. And just kind of recap. We can make a leaf shape. We can make it bigger and kind of create an Art Deco sort of accent, or we can attach these together side by side. Picture that done in white and do 6 points. Put a nice big pearl in the center and you'd have a beautiful snowflake. Or you could make it in yellow and make a star, put 5 points on it. So that is another technique. Now these guys all joined us, so I'm going to show them ever so briefly. You can back up the video to see how we did these, but I want to show you the other folds that we did using our comb. Starting at the bottom, we created these, just winding up on our comb, progressively larger numbers. And that was our very first fold. That was number 1. Our second fold, number 2, was we start in the middle when we fold it, and we go to both sides. That was number 2. When I say we go to both sides, we anchor at number 7, and then we go to number 9, and then we go to number 6, and then we go to number 10, and then we go to, no, we started at 8. Let's try that again. We started at 8, so we're going to go up to 9, down to 7, up to 10, down to 6, and make it as big as we want to make it. and slide, glue it and slide it off our comb. And this was our second fold. It's just kind of touching on the very basics of how to do this. And then we just did our number 3 fold. One thing I wanted to show you is using that last technique and wrapping just on one side. This would have been a great way to make our butterfly or our hummingbird wings. As we did it when we did this last week, we actually tore pieces of paper, but you could do the same thing with a continual piece of paper. I know it's black on black, that's hard, but you could do this with the same thing on a continual piece of paper using your comb. See that? So this is still technique number 3. Is that right? Number 3? No, this is number 4. Sorry, this was technique number 4, because we did the anchoring at the bottom and working up, anchoring at 8 and working up and down. We did the swirl leaf, where we caught just the tine and we created these beautiful pieces. We actually did one of those in yellow too, to show that this could not only be used to the leaf, but it would be a really pretty flower petal. My black piece of paper has paper dust all over it, needs to be wiped off, but you guys will forgive me. Actually, I'm not sure it's that or glitter. But I got off anyway. There we go. Much better. So you're going to make these pretty little petals. Okay, this was technique number 3. Okay, let's do something different. Let's try making something more involved. How about something like this? Oops. Let's see if I can hold it here. You know what I should be putting this on if I had any brains about me. Because I could be displaying these and get my finger out of the way by showing them to you on my board. I don't know if you can see all the detail when it's on my board. Where is it? Oops. I think I'm showing my glued side. Let's. So we can make a really beautiful, super detailed leaf. I don't know if you can see. Come in closer, honey. I don't know if you guys can see all of my folds inside here. There you go. There you go. I just got to find the camera. There it is. There it is. Okay, now you can see. So let's make this. Okay, let's make one of these. We are going to need quite a few pieces of paper. That one leaf will take several sheets of our quilling strips. Let's see what I've got that I've got enough of here. I've got enough of this. I think it'll be easier to see in this lighter color too. Okay, go back out. Okay. So we're going to get a piece of our green quilling. This one's kind of a minty green inside of your original pack. It came with your boards. I'm going to create my anchor. by wrapping around the end of my tool. I'm going to put just a dab of glue on here. Okay. We're going to make that leaf. I just showed you the smaller at the bottom, or is wider at the bottom and skinnier at the top. We're going to need to make several pieces. We're going to start at number 8. Let's start at number 8. That's number 9. Start at number 8. I'm going to go down 1 to number 7 and wrap around it. I'm going to go up 1 to number 9 and wrap around that. So I'm just wrapping around, okay? Again, I'm coming in from the sides now. I'm going to go down to number 6. Really, I'm going to go down and catch number 6. I'm going to come up and catch number 10. I want to go down to number 5, come up to number 11. I'm going to tear my strip in the back. I'm going to add a little glue. I want to make sure I glue clear to the end of my strip. Don't want any of those ends showing. I'm going to pull this off, and this is going to be the centerpiece of my leaf. So we're using that same technique that we did in technique number 2. Now I'm going to take another strip, and I'm going to, I'm finding it's helping to get these damp, so dip my fingers in my water cup there. And I'm going to wrap a little anchor. I'm finding it easier to put a little dab of glue there. It's up to you whether you do that. I just am choosing to. This technique I learned from I think it's called the Paperie. She's here on YouTube, and really good quilling teacher. But that's where I learned these techniques. I'm starting my second strip at number 8. I'm going to go down to number 7, catch that. I'm going to go up to number 9, wrap around there. I'm going to come down to number 6. I'm going to go up to number 10. I'm going to go back to number 6. Now this is different. I'm not going to 5 this time. I'm going back to number 6. And then I'm going to go on around number 11. Once I've gone around number 11, I'll tear off my strip. So I went twice around number 6, didn't I? If you're doing this along with me and following, that should be easy instructions to follow when you're actually wrapping on your comb. Line your paper up so that your strips are nice and even. As you glue it, take that off, and that's my second strip. I'm going to make 2 of those. I'm going to get a good, nice long piece of paper here. Get my fingers damp so I can start this easier. We're supposed to be over 100 tomorrow, Betty, so we're getting yours tomorrow. What's it out there today, Bryce? 90-ish?
90 right now.
It's 90 right now, and it'll be 100 tomorrow. Okay, we're starting at number 8 again. I'm coming down to number 7. I'm going up to number 9. I'm coming down to number 6. No, is that right? Down to 7, up to 9, down to 6, up to 10. Oh, no, that's that one. Okay, 8, 7, 9, 6, 10. Okay. I'm going from 7 to 10. Going down under number 10. I'm coming up at number 6. I'm going up to number 11. I'm going to tear off my paper. I'm going to glue that strip in place. I'm going to pull that off, and I have 2 that size now. I'm trying to get these where they can see them, but my picture's in the way. Can you move my picture up or something? It's in the way. There, now you can see. All right. Next, we're going to do strip number 3. And strip number 3 also starts at number 8. Finger stamps, so I can. I'll do you one better, Thelma. When I first moved to Yakima, Washington in the mid-80s, I had a swamp cooler. You remember swamp coolers? Put the ice block in. That's what I had for cooling over there. The first week I was in Yakima, it got to be 115 degrees. And I thought to myself, what did I do to myself? Why did I move here? I opened the door one morning to go to work, and that 115 degree heat hit me, and there was a tumbleweed literally on my front porch. I thought, what did I do? What did I do? Okay, this time we're anchoring at number 8. We're going to come down to number 7, then up to number 9. We're going to go down to number 6 and up to number 10. Yep. Now that's old technology. But you know, it actually worked fairly decently, surprisingly. I'm going to put a little glue on the back here. Tore off my strip. So this one just went 1 up, 1 down until I got to number 6 and number 10. So I've got my little swirly boober. Okay, so I need 1 more of those. So we'll do another one of those. Okay. I'm going to get the fingers damp. Hi, Glenn. Oh, home from the honeymoon? I haven't even been there yet, Glenn. I haven't even been to the beach yet. This was packing week. This was packing week. So everything that we have is now inaccessible because even though we didn't have to pack everything, we packed just the things coming off the 3 walls, all 3 of those walls being hunky-dory stuff. It took 180 boxes to box up what was left of the hunky-dory And all those boxes are piled 5 boxes high, and I don't even know how wide. 4 boxes wide?
No,
3
two
boxes wide?
boxes wide.
2 boxes wide? 2 boxes wide, 5 boxes high, and all the way down the aisles in one of our other rows. And then what we will have, I anchored at number 7. I'm coming up to number, I anchored at number 8. I went down to 7. I'm going up to 9. I'm coming down to, let me get this on and I'll answer your questions. I'm down to number 6, up to number 10. I'm going to tear off my strip. And I'm going to glue this in place. So tomorrow, no, it's Monday. Monday, the guys are coming to move all of the cabinets out of the way and maybe tear up some of the floor. We're not sure yet. And then on Tuesday, the construction begins. That's when the actual jackhammers come out. So that should be fun. Bob, we sent Bob off to Spokane today, so he won't be around and be really agitated by all of the jackhammering noise, because we could both imagine that was really going to get to him. So he and Paula left this morning for Spokane. I'm creating my little swirl. I'm going to glue it just a tad. The animals are all going to be here. Yes, that won't be easy on them, but we will survive. We will all survive. Okay, I'm anchoring at number 8. Now I'm going to do some little tiny ones. I'm going to go down to 7, up to 9, go down to number 7, come up to number 9, go to 7 again, 7 a second time, and then go up to number 10. Tear off and glue. This is just a little tiny one. We got some of the most fabulous anniversary cards from you all. You guys are great. Thank you very much. Okay. We're going to make one more piece. You can use a short one again because I only need. You didn't get your quilling tool? Ah, Thelma, I have one sitting up here. We'll figure out how to get it to you. I'm sorry. I don't know why, just in the construction chaos that's been missed, but I will take care of it for you. You're talking about the fancy handle one. I'm sorry you didn't get that yet. I requested it. It just didn't happen. So we'll get that taken care of and get that. I'm not shipping most things because it's kind of a act of Congress to ship right now, but we'll figure out how to get it to you, okay? All right. I'm going to anchor at number 8. I'm going to come down to number 7. I'm going up to number 9. I'm coming down to 7 again. A second time on 7. I'm going up to number 10. Through. And well, I did request it. That's why I'm so surprised that it didn't go out to you. Okay. And we're done with that one. Now we're done with all of our pieces. It's time to put our leaf together. So let's do this. I'm going to take my largest piece and one of my second largest pieces. I'm going to put glue down. I want the tallest part of my piece to be at the top. So if there's a difference, you want the tallest piece to be at the top. Make sure you got glue all the way down the side. And I'm going to position this next to it. And I'm going to kind of pull these two together. Now, this is really important on this leaf. The bottoms match up. The bottoms match up on this piece. It's the bottoms that match up. They're not evenly distributed. You match them at the bottom. Now let's see, what's the date this coming Saturday, honey?
Coming Saturday is the 2nd.
The 2nd. Yes. Let's have class this coming Saturday. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't have class next Saturday. I think we'll take Thursday off again. So,
Like the construction guys are working that day.
Yeah. So we'll take, I won't be here Wednesday because I have nothing new for What's New Wednesday. I don't have anything for Thursday, but let's meet again Saturday. Okay. Now you can see this coming together. I could use this as a leaf just like this if I wanted to. Isn't it beautiful? But we're not done yet. We're going to put 4 more layers on this leaf.
Hi to Kathy, girly girl.
Hi, Kathy, girly girl. We're making a combed leaf right now. We've got 3 layers on it. I just went through and showed you how to make the layers so you can catch that on the rewind. And now we're layering the pieces together. They match at the bottom and they kind of get smoothed at the top. Matched at the bottom and smoothed at the top. So I'm kind of pinching the bottom in a little bit. And I'm matching the leaves up along the sides. I have another one to go on this side. Pinch it at the bottom and just kind of smooth it in at the top. Make sure it's glued all the way to the top of the leaf piece that we're putting on. Oh my gosh, that is such a huge load of origami cranes, Thelma. If you sent that many to everybody, people are going to be busy with cranes for a long time. Wowzer. Okay, I could stop here, but I'm not going to. But it's beautiful already, isn't it? Look at that leaf. That's gorgeous. But let's put one more leaf on. Those are beautiful cranes. I'm thinking on what I'm going to do with them. I'm thinking on it. Okay. Now I want the thicker of the 2 pieces at the bottom. You'll remember some of these we made taller at the top than we did at the bottom, right? Have fun at your party, Diane. We'll see you next week. I think next week we will make something using these techniques. Today I'm just showing you a bunch of new things. Next week, let's make something using these techniques. Let's go ahead and make the flowers, make the leaves, and create a card using these comb techniques. There is our leaf, guys. I think it's even prettier than our sample because it's a little more defined. Look there. There's our leaf we just made. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, we got right in on my black. This got the, I actually wiped off the other side. Here. Now it looks better. Oh, did I get two different colors? No, I don't think I did. Just the way they're sitting there. Even if I did have different colors, leaves are different colors. So there's our leaf. Isn't that amazing, guys? Beautiful, huh? I love it. Love it. We did this with our quilling comb. Takes a few pieces, but you saw it actually goes together pretty fast, doesn't it? And so I can use these little leaves. These are dark paper. I can use these little leaves in bunches. Now, these would be beautiful flower petals too, wouldn't they? Look at those. They'd be beautiful flower petals as well as leaves, wouldn't they? You're welcome, Kathy girl. You weren't here when I said we just finished boxing up, and we had 180 boxes remaining of Hunky Dory. 180 boxes. That's how much Hunky Dory we had. I told you before, and I didn't exaggerate, I am certain that we have the largest selection of Hunky Dory crafts of any US store. Any store in the US. I'm certain of it. Okay, you ready to do something different? How about if we make a fern? Now I want to show you how to make the fern pieces. This time we're going to make a fern. And to start with, I took one piece of quilling paper. I applied glue as smoothly as I could to it. Then I folded it in half and I pressed all the air out and I rubbed it down and rubbed it down so it would be nice and smoothly bonded. And now it is just as if it is one piece. Okay? This is going to be this. Annette says I would have bought more, but I had to let Glenn have some. This is just as if this is one piece now. Once you do that, it's super duper important that you let that dry very thoroughly. A couple of hours at the minimum. Overnight is great. Because if you don't let it sit for a considerable amount of time, it will separate as you're trying to use it. And that's not what we want. But this is now double the weight of a piece of quilling paper. Okay? I'm good. I've got my quilling board out here. Oh, back up just a little, please. I've got my quilling board. I took a piece of parchment and covered my board. This is just the back of my regular board, guys. Take a piece of parchment or of wax paper. Wax paper will work just as well. And cover your board. Now I'm going to put some pins in here and I'm going to stand my stem up on its side. So I'm going to put some pins in here to hold this nice and firmly in place while I work with it. You can use lots of pins. You got a whole wheel of them in your kit. So I'm standing up my stem so I can work with it. Well, this is probably a great time to tell you I have the wonderful new Hunky Dory lavender kit in. It just came in and it will be in our first week when we're back. Really, really beautiful hunky dory lavender. You guys are always going to have something to do because of me. I get great satisfaction from that fact. Okay, so I've pinned my stem standing up on edge so I can apply my pieces. Now let's talk about how we make our pieces to our fern. How are we doing for time, hon?
305.
3:05? Oh, we're doing great. Ah, had to have a little nectar of the gods there and have some Diet Coke. Yes, Coke people, I'm still waiting for that truck because I'm confident. Now, these are what our little fern pieces are going to look like. But rather than making them all and having you guys waiting, I thought I'd show you how to make them and then I'd have mine pre made. Because I was concerned that we'd run long today. As it is, I think we're going to finish early. But that's okay too. That's okay too. We will have done quite a bit, really. All right. Let's do a leaf. Let's do some fern leaves. I'm going to get a piece of paper. I'm going to get my little anchor point on it. So I'm wrapping around my needle point. You don't have to glue it, but I'm just finding it easier, guys, because I can't seem to keep my little circle in it if I don't glue it. I must pull too hard or something. The lady that was doing the video I learned this from, she never had to glue it. So I guess I'm just not as good as her at this point. Okay, I'm going to anchor at number 1, which just simply means I'm going to put my loop on number 1. Now I'm going to go up to 2 on my comb. Just go to tie number 2. We'll wrap back around number 1, and I'm going to go in at number 3. I'm going to come up and I'm going to go around number 4. I'm going to go up one more and I'm going to go around number 5. Okay. Went one step at a time up around. Now I'm going to take 2 loops around this entire packet that I just put together here. 1, 2. I'm going to go around numbers 1 through 5, 2 full rotations. And then I'm going to tear this off at the back. And I'm going to glue it down. And this is the first of my fern leaves. I'm going to pull it off my comb. This is what it looks like, my little circle at the bottom. And all of the other pieces there. I'm going to pinch it right at the bottom and let that circle go up just a little. And then I'm going to slightly bend this around my thumb. So I get this. I get this. Pinch it, let that circle go up a little bit, and then just round it just a little around your thumb. Okay? That's my first size leaf. I'm going to make 4 of these. I'm not going to actually make 4 of them. I'm just telling you I'm going to make 4 of them because I already made 4. Okay? Next, we're going to do our next size leaf. So let's get ready to do leaf number 2. And you're going to need a pretty full strip for number 2 also. Get my fingers damp. It really is working to dampen my fingers a little. Somehow I'm doing much better getting my little coils wrapped here. So I'm wrapping a little coil around the end of my tool. I am gluing this in place. Holding it and grabbing my comb. I'm going to start at number 1 again. We're anchoring at 1. I'm going to go up to number 2, or back around 1, go up to number 3, go up to number 4. So I've got 4 rotations on. Now I'm going to do 2 more full rotations right around that packet we've just wound on there. 1 and 2. On the second one, I'm going to tear my paper. Use my nails to kind of straighten up my work there. I'm going to tear my paper, and I'm going to tape it or glue it down. It really is. It actually reminds me of working on the bow maker. This is actually very comfortable for me. So I'm taking this one off. I'm going to pinch up that little circle at the bottom just a little bit. If it won't come out, then I can just kind of squish it. I'm going to bend this just a little bit around my nail. And this is my next size. I'm going to make 2 of those. Let's go to our next size. We're going to make 3 of these. I'm going to make 3 of this size. I'm gluing my little circle. You don't have to if you don't want to, because I pull mine out. I'm anchoring on number 1. I'm going to make just some little ones. I'm going to go number 1 to number 2. My comb's upside down, but I guess you can see what I'm doing. Number 2 to number 3. I'm going to go around all 3 times, 2 times. 1, 2. I'm going to flip it over, tear it off on the back, glue it nice and straight on top of my little packet here we've just created. I'm going to make 3 of these. You need 3 of these for your fern. I will flip it over where my little circle is at the bottom. I will kind of flip that up, and then I will turn 2 of them. 2 of these get a little angle. The last one do not angle. Okay? So you're going to make 4 of the biggest ones, pinch them at the bottom, angle them around your nail. You're going to make 2 of the next size, pinch them at the bottom, and angle them around your nail. You're going to make 3 of the next size. 1 of them you're going to leave alone, and 2 you're going to pinch at the bottom and wrap around your nail. Now, we have made all those pieces. Here they are. You don't often get this from me, but I just thought some of these techniques, I was concerned we were going to run long. We're not going to run long. We're going to be done early, I think, but that's okay. At least I won't be running too long. I'm going to take the one I did not pinch, and I'm going to glue that to the top of my stem. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to glue that to my stem at the top. And I have the top of my fern. The stem is going to be way too long, in case you were wondering. Yes, that's true. It is going to be way too long. Now I'm going to glue my other pieces in place, putting a little glue on the edges. And if you need a pen to hold it in place, I think mine are going to be fine. But if you need a pen to hold it in place, you can just stick a pen in here to just keep that right there until it dries and tacks on good. I'm going to take my other curved piece. I'm going to put it across from that one. It seemed like I was putting so much together when I was practicing these techniques and getting things ready to go. I'm going to use my next ones, use the pinched end, and glue it in place. See you, Betty. I'm going to use the next one and glue it in place. Yeah, I think next week, rather than taking into something brand new, I think next week we will use these same techniques, and we're actually going to build some things using these skills we're learning. Hopefully by next week you guys will have been able to practice with your combs, since a lot of you are watching this week. Hopefully by next week you will have been able to try it, so you'll be ready to ask any questions you guys have about this new stuff. Putting a little glue right on the end. And what the parchment or wax paper is going to do for you is keep this from getting glued to your board. I'm going to put on another piece. You can make these as angled or as straight as you like. And then we're just going to let that dry for a bit. You could use, why couldn't you use this same technique? Put these a little closer together and create fun little Christmas trees by making it fuller. I'm going to put some pins in there so when I hold it up it doesn't all fall off, because it's only bound by just that little spot. And then we'll look at this. Why couldn't you make a Christmas tree doing this? I think you could, couldn't you? Yeah. Oh, it'd be a great palm tree. It would be a great palm tree. Yeah, just make them long and then a bunch of them and glue them. Yeah, I could see that. That'd be a great palm tree. That'd be a fun Christmas tree. Or it's actually going to be a really cute fern in my floral decoration. So let's kind of recap what we've done so far, and then we'll decide what to do next. So we've made our fern. We're going to let that dry. We'll pull it off our board here after a while and see what we get. Before that, we made our really beautiful leaves. I'm going to show you these again because they're just gorgeous. I especially like the one we just made in class. I love this one. I did a better job on this one because I'm getting better at it. Isn't that pretty? So we made these leaves, and you'll recall this leaf has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we have 4. We have 1 in the middle, and we have 3 on each side. So you have 7 pieces go together to make this. But isn't that beautiful? Good to hear, Mary. I'm glad you got your punch. And you can make them obviously in different colors. This one just doesn't show the detail as much as the bright green does, unfortunately. So I like the green. Before that, we talked about our little fans, I believe. That was number 4. We did our fans. This one, we were talking about angling your strips out from the center. And you can make pretty little leaves using that technique. This one, we were imagining that this is like in a gold. And I thought that would be a really fun Art Deco design to use on a card. You can use the same technique and attach them side by side. If I made this in white and put 6 pieces together, I'd have a snowflake. If I put 5 pieces together, I would have a star. You can use rhinestones in the middle and make some really pretty stuff using this design. But you can really see using that as a leaf. That's really cute. So if you're in a hurry, make this kind of leaf. If you've got the time to do it, this is absolutely spectacular. Okay, so we've done that. We talked about using this same wrapping technique to make the wings on our hummingbirds next time. Remember, we tore strips and stacked them and glued them, but you could do the same thing by just wrapping around your comb. So we've talked about that. We have talked about making some basic folds. Another leaf. We have talked about making some very basic folds, and this was the last of the 4 folds that we did. And I think these are really fun. In fact, I'm almost tempted. I'd kind of like to maybe go back to this. If you guys are up for it and you want to hang around a while, we could make a few more of these and make a flower out of that. I think that would be fun. So we have this fold, which has a beautiful filigree kind of feel to it. You can see that depending on how much you pinch it and how far apart your loops are on your comb, you can make it kind of filled in, or you can make it really open. So we made those. We also made some of our very basic folds that we were starting with. You guys said that this one, well, either one of these would be fun for wings. This one is the one that we have gone to use several times now, where we're anchoring in one place and then building up. We've used this several times as we've made our fancy leaves, starting at the bottom and working up. And this one was anchored in the center, and we worked out both directions, and we've done some of that as well, especially when we made like these. So I think we should go ahead. We've actually learned quite a bit already today, but I think we should take some of this goldenrod here, make a few more petals, and let's turn this into a flower because that would be fun. I think it'd be fun. In the meantime, this should be about dry. I'm going to pull my pins and let's take a look at our fern we've made also. And then next week, let's just play with some of the techniques that we've been learning. We'll take these same techniques. I'll see if I see any more fun patterns using the folds that we've learned or any new folds. And there it is. There's our fern plant. And we will build something out of these pieces. So let's get our comb back out. I think we're done with our board for now. We were saying, Kathy, that you put parchment or wax paper on the flats on the corkboard side of your board so that your projects don't get glued down to your corkboard and your board stays nice. I'm not going to put all those pins in there right now. That's silly. Just set this aside. All right. Let's get some goldenrod color petals. Let's get our comb out again. I have not tried the metallic yet, but I do have some metallics in Thelma, and we'll have them for you as soon as we're reopened. And I got all the solid color papers in too, just in time to be too late. But we'll be open again. I told you I'm not retiring yet. I got a deck to pay for and a foundation to pay for. I gotta work. So this is just a temporary setback. Yeah, that's what's nice about having the boards have a solid cork back on them. That's actually what they're intended to do, is use the back of your board as a canvas for the things you're gluing, any projects. And if you're gluing to a pattern, I don't know if you've seen any of those videos, that Papery one I told you about. She does a lot of patterns where she draws an object and then she fills it in with quilling. And she puts her pattern under the parchment paper so she can see it, but it's not getting in the way and she's not gluing to her pattern either. Okay, as you recall, when we make this design here, which is the one we're making next, I'm actually going to glue this a little bit more because I want that closed in a little more. You don't really see all the design when it's wider. So I'm pinching that off a little bit more so you can really see those curlies inside. Okay. Now we're starting out a number 8 in the center. I'm going to, these closer ones are a little bit tougher to get to, but I'm going to come around and I'm going to pick up just the one time below that, number 8. See there? This really is like the Bowmaker. Kathy, you'll like this one. I'm picking up just number 8. Come around here, come in from the side, and pick up just number 9. Okay, because we anchored on number 8. You're picking up just number 9. We're going to come around here again, I'm going to pick up just number 6. I'm going to look at my notes and see how many I need so I get the same size we came up with before. Let's see. Grabs. Here we go. The boat wrap. Work both directions. Oh, I didn't write down how many. I just said work as far as you want. So we'll have to see if I can come up with the same size twice, or we'll just make an extra. So I'm picking up just the tine. I'm not wrapping around the entire thing. I'm going back and forth and picking up just one tine at a time. Just slide under it. That's the easiest way. Slide under it from the side. If I want to see if it's coming together right, flip your comb over and it should look like this on the back where you've got all those little loops. Yes, yes. That's exactly what we're doing. Yep, that's what we're doing right now, Glenn. We're making, that's a great way to describe it. We're making ribbon candy. Pick up just that one tine, come up here, do the same thing. I'm just going to go till I run out of paper. Then I'm going to assume that's where I stopped before. That's a great way to describe it. Yeah, as Glenn says, you can see the ribbon candy on this side of your comb if you're doing everything correctly. Now I'm going to tear off my paper. I like that description a lot, ribbon candy. I'm going to glue this piece on the back. I'm going to smooth it down nice and even with my other papers, and I'll take that opportunity to kind of line up my other parts. Now remember, when we take this off, there is nothing holding all these layers together because we only picked up the single tine. We didn't go around the entire thing. So there is Glenn's ribbon candy. What we're going to do is we're going to put some glue on the ends here. And we're going to fold it and pinch it. And there is the ribbon candy inside of our design. And it is exactly the same size. So I guess I worked until I ran out of paper last time. We're going to do it again. Let's do it again. We're going to anchor at number 8. And we're going to wrap this around. Oops. See, there you go. Having trouble wrapping it again. That's my toughest part, guys, just getting the paper started around the tool. And you shouldn't have to glue it, but I glue it. So I'm going to put a little glue there because I tend to pull mine out as I work. I must be really heavy-handed. I'm not sure what the deal is. I'm going to anchor at number 8. I'm going to wrap around my tine. I think I started below last time. Around my tine and back. Around my tine and back. So I went to number 7. I went to number 9. I'm just going right under that single tine to number 6, number 10, not number 11, number 10. There we go. And I'm just going to wind back and forth. There we go. I'm coming over and picking this up. You can do some beautiful things with this comb, I gotta say, guys. We're going to pick this up. We're going to come under here and pick this up. We're going to come under here and pick this up. We're getting short now. So I'm going to come over here, pick this up. I'm going to tear off my strip. I know I did it right because I have my ribbon candy on the front. And I'm going to glue this strip nicely to the back. I'm going to line up all my little loops. I'm going to pull this off, but I'm not going to let it go because if I do, it'll just spring loose. There's my ribbon candy. Uh-oh. Well, I just did what I said I wasn't going to do. Let's see if it'll restack. I did. I was able to restack it. Okay. I just proved it really unstacked, so didn't I? That wasn't my intent, but okay. I'm going to fold it, pinch it at the very end. Looks like I need to glue my strip down just a little more here because I have a straggler. There we go. There's my pretty petal with our loops around the inside. We're halfway through our flower now. Let's see how these are looking. Well, we may not be halfway though. They're looking good though. Let's do another one. Need full strips for this. I never promised not to be a klutz. We are meeting next week. Let me just tell you right now, we are meeting next week. I'm going to try and get a couple pictures of jackhammering happening downstairs and of the picture of the cube of products in the middle of the room. I don't know. There's no way we're going to be able to get it all in one photo, but because you can't stand back far enough to get all of that product in one photo, but we'll try and get you some pictures of what we're doing. Okay. I'm anchoring on number 8. Really, I am. There we go. Anchoring on number 8. I'm going to pick up just number 7. Then I'm going to pick up, let's see, what am I doing here? Yeah, I'm going to pick up just number 9. Come on. And I'm going to pick up just number 6. Just number 10. Just number 5. Now it seems like some of these would have to take a really long time. But you know, once you kind of get the hang of this, winding this back and forth, and it doesn't take any time at all to make these various pieces. I'm coming down probably on my last rotation. I'm not worrying about the fact that that's kind of wanky there. I can straighten that up as I take it off my comb. I'm going to wrap around my last one here. I'm going to tear off this tiny piece of paper, glue this in the middle, and hopefully that will all stack up nicely as I pull it off the comb. So let's see what happens. We can get that all to behave nicely when we take it off. Yeah, there it is. It's all fine. It's all fine. There's my ribbon candy. Bob is in a car with Bryce's sister Paula on the way to Spokane as we speak. We sent him to visit Paula, not only because visiting your daughter is fun, but because before we thought the jackhammering and stuff would be really difficult for him. Oh, I don't say them on the air, Thelma. Sometimes I think them. All right. Yeah, I'm still trying to decide how I'm going to do with a house full of jackhammering. I don't know. When they're on Lauren's end of the house, I can be out here in the classroom and be just fine. When they get to this end of the house, I have no idea how I'm going to do because they'll be right underneath me when they're jackhammering in the warehouse. It's directly under the classroom, so that could get to be a bit much. We'll just have to see. I don't know where I can hide. Okay, I'm working on my fifth pedal. I anchored at 8. I'm going to 9. You guys think this is fun? I think this is really fun. I like the things we're making. I hope you like it. I hope you guys can try it this week, and then next week we'll make some things using this, and I'll try and see if I can find a few more thoughts for us too, a few more ideas. I got lots and lots of books to go through. I thought this was going to take more than I thought. I probably had more than I could get through today. I'm amazed how fast we got through it. Maybe I'm not as fast a learner as you guys are. That could be. That could absolutely be the case. Yeah, where is a cat and Roberta? Maybe they didn't think we were on today. They'll catch us on rewind. Hello, Roberta. Hello, Cat. We'll see you next week. We are in class next week. We'll be here Saturday, unless something unexpected happens, in which case I will email you. I didn't email you this week, guys, because I didn't change any plans. We were always going to be here today. There's my ribbon candy. Gonna slide this off. I have enjoyed talking to your Roberta, Glenn. She is a character. She is funny. You guys must have it in your family because she is funny to talk to. Okay, pinching it off. There's our flower blossoms. We may need 10 of these guys. I don't know. It's going to be a big flower, though. It's going to be beautiful. I suppose you could make a side view flower and only use 5, but yeah, we'll use it next week. We'll put it in a design next week. Get my fingers wet so I can roll this paper. That's helping a lot in rolling the paper. If you're having any problems like I have a baby wipe handy. Get your finger stamp, and then rolling this paper around this little needle becomes a lot easier. I have learned that today. So there's thought for you. Tip of the day. If you have trouble winding onto the little end of the needle. Starting at 8 again. I'm going to go around just number 7. I'm going to come up here, go around just number 9. I'm going to wind back and forth until I run out of paper. I'm going to try and go a little faster here because there's no reason going slow. You guys have seen it 5 times before. So up and around, up and around, up and around, up and around, running out of space, so I'll tear off and glue. You got in trouble at a card group? I can see that happening. Yep, I can see it because you're a rascal and so is she. She's funny. Teddy is going to be in Bob withdrawal. He is definitely, and I have to say, Bob is going to be in Teddy withdrawal too. In the driveway, when he was saying goodbye to everybody, or actually before he even left the house, he said goodbye to everybody. He started with Ted and gave Teddy a big hug. And then he wanted to know why Ted wasn't getting in the car to go to Spokane. He, he kind of wanted that dog. Okay, we got petal number 7. Quick, another one. All right. My finger stamp. Ah. Yeah, Teddy will be in Bob withdrawal, and Bob will be in Teddy withdrawal for sure. All right. Once again, I'm putting a little glue on my anchor, not because you have to, just because I do better when I do it. I'm going to put my anchor at number 8. I'm going to immediately thread my paper under number 7, under number 9. Remember, you're going underneath this time. Usually we go over the top, but this, I'm going to call it the ribbon candy technique because that is a perfect description for this, Glenn. And when you do this ribbon candy, you go under the tine and create the ribbon candy on the back of your comb. Back and forth, just picking up one, come up, pick up the other. And then up. Okay, tear my paper. We will be at petal number 7. Now let's begin to look at our flower. We'll lay it out and see what we think. If it is, beginning to take shape, we can decide by doing that how many petals we want. We could actually glue them to the middle, and we don't have to have them butted up against each other unless we want to, which we probably do because I like that effect, but we can do whatever we want because it's our flowers. Okay, I want to show you something here. See how this is separating on the outside? We don't want that. We're getting that because that's where I glued it, and I did not glue that whole strip. I needed to glue from the bottom where I glued it to the top of my glued strip, and I didn't do that, so I fixed it. I wanted to show you what the problem was there because you don't want those little loose ends. Let's see how our flowers coming together here. Because we could put these further apart if we want to. Let's see how it's going. We could use our flower center to hold it together if we wanted to. But I'm kind of inclined to think we want another petal or two, don't you guys think? What do you guys think? We want another petal or two, right? I think so. We always don't have to use them for this. If I get them done and I have too many, I'll just have to make another one. Okay, gonna get my finger stamped. How am I doing on time now? Huh?
10 to 4.
10 to 4. Yeah, we'll finish this flower and then I think we'll be done, guys, because that's all I have for you today. I thought I had more than enough to fill the available time because it took me a long time to learn it. But maybe some leaves? Yeah, we happen to have a few leaves done. We have some beautiful leaves. We do. Okay, gonna anchor this at number 8. Sliding it right on there. I'm just catching the tying alone instead of wrapping all the way around. This technique creates ribbon candy on the back. So I'm gonna wind it, wind it. Oops. Catch just one tine at a time. One tine at a time. Back and forth, and back and forth. This will be our last rotation. We will catch this one up here. We'll bring this down. Now this time I'm going to glue this better. See, I'm going to let that hole flap up and I'm going to glue this whole thing. And that way I know I won't get that funny little bubble on the side. Okay, there we go. We got our ribbon candy. We're going to put glue on one end. We're going to wrap it. We're going to pinch it just a little, add a little more glue to the inside of that one. Pinch that down. We have ribbon candy petals. I think we got it, guys. I think 8 is like the perfect number. I'm going to go ahead and glue these side by side. And perhaps just for use next week, we'll go ahead and build one of those stems I talked about. Let's go ahead and glue these side by side though, shall we? So I'm going to put glue on both sides of this. And I'll kind of smush these petals together. Smush these petals together. Smush these petals together. I'm ending up with tighter petals. Not sure I want that. There we go. That's better. Stop it. It's being obstinate, guys. Can you imagine? It's not being nice to me. Okay. It might be these two. This is the problem. There we go. That's being better. Might have to use my board for this now that I'm trying to put this together. Put a little glue on the sides. Oh, I need still one more petal. I see one here where I didn't get it glued all the way down. It's kind of giving me that little gap. I don't want that gap. A little more glue there. Put this in side by side. I kind of like the pattern that's forming in the middle of this as I get these petals in. We're getting a really pretty pattern in the middle of this. I'll show you when I can. I need one more petal though. Because of the way it's pinched, it's forming a little star pattern in the middle of this as I put these together, but I need one more petal. One more.
And that says you scared her.
I scared you? Okay. Most people don't, well, I was going to say most people don't think of me as scary. I guess when I was in HR, maybe they did, but I don't think most people would have said then they were scared of me. They kind of looked at me like a bit of an ally. You are right, Glenn. It would be easier if I were going around a center. You are exactly right. Oh, when I yelled, stop it. Don't you ever yell at inanimate objects? I do it all the time. That might be a mental health challenge. I don't know. But, it's what I do. I am continually talking to my computer. I am continually talking to my craft supplies. Sometimes I scold them like I did there. Sometimes not. I think we'll put some kind of center over this anyway, but I really do like this star pattern that it's developing in the center. The other thing I could do with this is I could have used my board and pinned it in place as I went so that my flower would be more uniform. I just kind of free-handed it. But there are options to making it behave, putting a center in, like Glenn said, or pinning it, or any number of things we could do. Or we could just freehand it, which I tend to do. Okay, I'm going to remember this time that I'm gluing clear back to the base of that little piece of ribbon, candy there. I'm closing that up. I'm pulling this off. And then sometimes we really compliment it. We say, oh, you're gorgeous. You're beautiful. Yes, we do it. Good night, Glenn. Thanks for stopping by, friend, and for your feedback. You're a good member of the group. We appreciate you. All right. Let's tuck this last petal in here. Oh, yeah. I like that. Oops. Really, really might have benefited from my board. But look at this star pattern that was created in the center by our pinching those stems. Can you see that star pattern in the middle? Isn't that neat? Hi, Roberta. Speaking of you, I was just saying to Glenn that I've had a fun time chatting with you on the phone, and that you're a rascal, and so is he. There it is. There's our flower. It really didn't, did it? And here's our leaf. We'll use these next week. We'll actually take these and build something beautiful and maybe have a few new combing techniques for next week. But I think we have introduced enough new stuff for one day, and I think you guys are ready to take off and play with some of these new techniques. It's too hot to go out anyway. Get your quilling board and your quilling needle and jump out there and make some beautiful things today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed kind of learning new things and how to use this quilling comb to give us some spectacular new looks. And anybody got any questions, comments, or pearls of wisdom before I get away for today? Another nice swig of Diet Coke. Anybody? We will not have group on Thursday or Wednesday because we don't have any new products to show you. I do have new products, but I can't sell them to you, so I'm not going to show them to you yet. I actually have quite a bit of new stuff. And we're going to not have class on Thursday. Saturday, we're coming back. 2 o'clock, our regular time, we will be here. We're going to expound on our. No. Roberta McGrew is Glenn's cousin. And they're both characters. They're just funny. Roberta, our regular Roberta, as in Rob, is from Maine and Glenn's from Kansas. So, yeah. So we will be back next Saturday. We will continue our exploration of using our quilling comb. The following week, I will be on vacation. But this coming week, I will be here. Okay? I'm so confused. Okay. Love you guys. Stay cool in all this heat. We will see you next Saturday at 2 o'clock. No class Wednesday, no class Thursday, but I will be here on Saturday. Okie dokie. For now, I'm going to say good night, Gracie.